Welcome to class. It is Tuesday and it's time for some yoga. So thank you for coming to my channel. This is AWH Yoga. My name is Anna. Tonight we're going to be doing a 60-minute class. This will be a Vinyasa flow, but it isn't all levels class, which means I will offer some options throughout the practice. We're going to move toward a peak posture this evening, and that peak posture is going to be twisted triangle or Pavrita Trikonasana. So as we move toward that pose, we want to make sure that we warm up certain parts of our body. So the component parts that we will be focusing on this evening will be opening and warming up our hamstrings. Our chest and heart opening, we'll focus on that, as well as always focusing on sort of spine mobility, and we'll get some twists in there as well. It is obviously a twisted pose or revolved pose, and it has a little bit of a balancing element too. So we will introduce those concepts to the body so that we can be prepared when we arrive there. As far as props go this evening, I recommend 2 blocks and a strap. If you don't have blocks, you can use a book or something that's like a block. I don't actually have a yoga strap, so I'm going to be using this resistance band that I bought and have never used, so we'll see if that works. If you have a belt, that would also work as well. The most important thing tonight is that there are a million different ways to do these postures, and it's all yoga. As long as you're on your mat and you are breathing and being intentional, you are doing it. So take your own road, make sure that you feel safe. I encourage you to challenge yourself, certainly where you can, and just see how far you can take your practice, but always be mindful that you know your body the best and to take it slow where you need to. That being said, have a great time. It doesn't have to be so serious, and let's get started. So we're going to get started on our backs this evening. So come down onto your back and find a comfortable position. You can choose to use blocks or even a rolled up blanket or a towel here to help support your body, to make you feel really comfortable. Most of us spend our days rushing around, even if we're rushing around in a smaller space than we used to due to today's restrictions. But our mind is still rushing around. It doesn't know the limits that our current state has put on us physically. And that even creates some additional challenges for the mind. But here, as we lay in stillness with our eyes closed, we offer our mind the opportunity to find the same stillness as our body. Notice the breath as it moves through the cycle of inhales and exhales. Notice how your mind and your breath at first may not want to sync up. But as you begin to deepen the breath, slowing down the inhale and the exhale, you notice that your mind slows down too. more deep breaths here. In your practice to set an intention, now is a beautiful time to do so as we prime our minds and our bodies for this next 60 minutes of intentional movement and connection. One more breath in. Exhale slowly out of the mouth. And carefully and mindfully bring a little movement into the hands and feet. And then bring your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms around your knees in a nice tight hug. And then release your left leg back down straight to the mat. Toe points toward the ceiling, keeping some engagement in that leg. Bring that right knee in close. So from here, if you have your strap handy, that can be helpful. And placing your strap around the ball of your foot, extending your leg up straight to the sky, and then keeping your hands around the strap, bringing a little bit of that tension so that you start to get a little bit of that stretch in the back of the leg. You can also keep your knee bent here. And then slowly bring the leg toward your face. Be gentle with yourself, keeping your left hip on the ground, remembering that left foot is flexed with that engagement. One more deep breath here. And then exhale out. And then using your strap to guide your leg, keep your left hand on your left hip, and then slowly move your right leg out from the hip socket toward the right side, bringing it down, only until your left hip wants to pop up off the ground. Keep breathing here. One more breath. And slowly bring your right leg back to the center. And then switching hands, if you released your left hand down, we're going to cross the leg over the body. So again, remember the engagement in the left leg. You can place your right hand palm down in a T shape or in a goalpost shape. And wherever you are, just slowly cross that right leg across the body. It doesn't have to go too far. We want to sort of keep our hips together. So we don't want to pop that right side all the way over where we're rolling over. We're just starting to introduce the concept of crossing this leg over. This will be very similar to our peak pose coming up later in the practice. One more breath. And then slowly using your hand on the strap to guide it, coming back up to straight to the sky. And you can carefully remove the strap or the belt, whatever you were using, and hug that right knee into the chest. And release the right leg down next to the left leg. Very nice. On your next inhale, bring your left knee into the chest. Take a breath here. Right toes toward the sky, slight engagement in that right leg. And then using your strap, place the strap around the ball of your left foot. And then extend your left leg straight to the sky. And any time that we're moving throughout this practice and these postures don't feel accessible to you, feel free to always take a bended leg or take back off the move just enough so that you can get sort of the conceptual understanding of where we're working toward, but you don't have to go sort of all the way to the edge. So take a breath here. And on your exhale, slowly move that leg toward your face. So if you have a straight leg, you're kind of thinking of bringing your toes towards your face. If your leg is bent like mine, I just think about moving sort of the whole element, starting with the knee toward my face. I get a deep stretch here in the hamstrings and in the calf. One more breath. And then release that. And now we're going to stretch our leg out to the left. So you can release your right hand down to the floor or place it on your right hip bone. And then taking a breath, inhale. And your exhale slowly from the hip socket. Think about moving your leg from the hip, not leading with the toe, but leading with the hip, opening up to the left side. Don't have to go too far. Only until your right hip wants to jump up. Take a breath. Exhale, bring your leg back up, leading with the hip. Nice. Arriving in the center, switching hands on the strap or the belt, placing your left palm and arm down in a T shape and crossing over the body. So keep breathing. Crossing that leg over to the right. I can feel a deep stretch in my outer hip, IT bands. Keep breathing. Be gentle with yourself, but find that edge. One more breath. And then slowly bring your leg back up to the sky. Carefully remove your strap. Bring that left knee into the chest. And then bring the right leg in to meet it. Now you have both legs back in. Give yourself a hug, nice thank you hug. We're already getting started toward our peak pose, and we've only been working for just a few minutes. So now I want to roll around a little bit on your back. So grabbing both your knees, you're going to roll around clockwise or counterclockwise or whichever way feels comfortable for you at first. But you're trying to sort of roll around on the small of your back, so on the sacrum. You should be able to kind of feel the edges. You can keep your hands on your knees sort of closely, or you can sort of let them go and see how crazy they want to be. And then make sure you reverse your circles. Just getting a little bit more movement in the hips and torso. Connecting with this part of our body. One more breath. And then coming into stillness. One more hug. And then we're going to rock and roll up to seated. I like to do at least 3 or 4 of these. Make sure you keep with your breath, placing your hands behind your knees. One more. And then up to your seated position. So in your seated position, I want you to cross your legs sort of the normal way. So if I weren't in a yoga class right now and someone said, hey, sit down, cross your legs, how would you do that? I want you to place your palms on your knees. And I want you to think about a nice long spine and the energy coming all the way through the crown of your head. Chin is parallel to the earth, shoulders away from the ears. Nice deep breath in. And exhale out. And then both arms raise up. Inhale. And on your exhale, place your left hand on your right knee and right hand behind you diagonally, keeping both sits bones grounded on the floor. Twist to the right. And as you twist, I want you to think about where the breath is moving through the body and try to find it a nice, smooth path. Maybe that means slowing the breath down. Maybe that means backing off a little bit from your twist. Maybe that means lengthening with your inhale. And one more deep breath. Exhale, return carefully to the center. And then inhale, arms up. On your exhale, right palm to left knee, left palm diagonally behind you, twist to the left. Again, as you're twisting, find a smooth path for the breath. Gaze is aiming toward your left shoulder. You're rooting through the sits bones, but then you're lifting up out of the waist. One more breath here. And exhale. exhale back. Now I want you to make your legs go the non-comfortable way. So kind of switch them the way that feels like you're doing it wrong. Find your sits bones again, placing your palms on your knees. Inhale, deep breath, arms up, and then lifting from the waist, crawling slowly forward. Just to get a little bit of stretch in those hips in sort of the non-normal way. And as you're creeping your hands out, get another inch and another inch and another inch, but you're looking for length in that spine. You might not be folded all the way over in half here, as long as you're getting that length in your breathing. One more breath. And next inhale, slowly, just the same way you went into it, creep your hands back onto the knees. We're going to move into some seated cat-cow. Let's switch our legs back to the normal position. And for our cat-cow, you can place a little bit more of a deliberate grip onto those knees. And then on your inhale, you're going to move your belly button forward, open the chest, and lift your chin toward the sky. So inhale into our cow pose. And then exhale, cat pose, round the spine. Navel goes toward the back of the body. And then inhale, cow pose. And exhale, round the spine, cat pose. Keep going for a few cycles on your own breath. And feel free as your body warms up and becomes used to this motion to get a little bit more kind of momentum going. You can get your shoulders involved as long as you're keeping them sort of down away from the ears for now. You're starting to feel that stretch all the way up and down the spine. Getting a little movement, waking it up. When you're ready, come back to stillness. Do some shoulder rolls. So inhale and lift your shoulders up and forward on your inhale, up toward the ears, and then back down. You can introduce your Ujjayi breath at this point. Breathing in through the nose, out through the nose, building heat. Keep going for a few of these, and then also do the reverse. So inhaling back up to your shoulders and back down. On your breath cycle, inhale and exhale. Get one more in there. Exhale. Nice. So let's keep moving. So moving into your cat-cow posture. So I'm actually going to stay facing forward for this one. So our cat-cow, we've got our palms taking up lots of real estate, flat to the earth, beneath our shoulders, knees beneath your hips. Engage the tops of the feet and the shins onto the floor, aiming for that neutral spine. You want to think about broadening your shoulders away from each other at the same time that you open up that chest. So from this position, we're actually going to open up the hips slightly. So making sure you're moving everything into the midline when nothing else is moving. And once you lift the right leg up, it might be called like a kind of a fire hydrant pose, and then back down. We're going to do a couple of rounds of these. So inhale, and then exhale back down. Inhale, exhale. Try to keep everything else moving toward the center so that your left hip doesn't pop out. 3 more. 1. And inhale, exhale. That neck still long. And back down. Beautiful. We're going to move to the other side. So refresh your posture in your tabletop, and then lift your left leg up. Inhale, and then exhale down. Just starting to warm up a little bit through the hips. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Take it slow. This actually is a lot more challenging when you take it slow. Starting to really build that heat in the body. Let's do 2 more. 1 more. Exhale down. Beautiful. So I'm going to move sideways. You guys stay in your tabletop. We're going to move into thread the needle. So from your tabletop position, I'm actually going to go to the other side. I want you to take your right hand up toward the sky, peeling open. Just think about just your torso. Leave your hips facing forward, peeling open, and then underneath the body and underneath the left arm, and then coming down onto the shoulder. Maybe come onto the side of your face, stretching your left hand out and breathing here. So you want to keep your knees lined up as you breathe and get this shoulder stretch and this twist. You can always keep your left hand closer and put a little more weight on it. Wherever you are, 2 more good breaths. Drawing that navel toward the spine, finding a smooth place for the breath. And then bringing your left palm back toward your face into that tabletop foundation, and bringing your right arm, sweeping it back up to the sky, and then back down. Move to the other side. So left arm sweeps up, twisting at the navel only, and then underneath the body, exiting out the other side, and then we stretch our right palm forward, or it can stay closer to the body, making sure those knees are lined up. I always have to take account of where my knees have drifted to. Get a couple breaths in here, feeling that shoulder stretch, feeling that twist from the navel, smoothing out the breath. I like to think of this pose as I drop something under the table and I have to find it awkwardly pose. This is what this yoga pose will train us for. 1 more breath. And bringing the right palm back to the tabletop foundation, pressing into that palm, sweeping the left arm back up toward the sky, and then back down into your neutral tabletop. Beautiful. So now we're going to go into a little bit of dynamic movement involving child's pose and cobra. So from your tabletop, I want you to find your hips to your heels, extend your knees out but just a little bit, keep them slightly more parallel because this is going to be dynamic, and then come down into your child's pose. We've warmed up the spine, we should be able to get down pretty low. Take a breath here. Exhale. And then on your inhale, press down through the tops of the feet and your shins, using that momentum to push your body forward. Palms are down on the floor. Move your feet out to parallel position and go into a cobra pose. And on your exhale, back down to your child's pose, sort of a child's pose minor, and then back up to cobra. So do a couple of those with your own breath cycle. These do not have to be fast, they don't have to be amazing, just to get your body moving a little bit and getting it used to this type of flow. Getting a little bit of a back bend in there. Let's do 2 more. I'm going to try to keep your shoulders really super strong, so your arms and hands don't move position. It's really just your legs that are kind of moving position. Last one, inhale. Exhale, back down to child's pose, and then come right back up, inhale, tabletop, and then lift your knees 3 inches above the ground by curling the toes, lifting up, drawing everything in toward the midline, but soften the back. 2 more breaths. Build that heat, getting super strong, and then lift your hips to the sky, downward dog. First downward dog of the practice, maybe your first downward dog of the day, maybe your first downward dog of the week or the month. So that means take full advantage of it. Use it to work out any of those kinks in the knees, the toes, the ankles. You want to get that deep calf stretch. We also get a little bit of stretch in our hamstrings. All these body parts are warming up to help us with our peak pose. Making sure your palms are taking up lots of space on the ground, pressing down evenly throughout all the fingers and thumbs. 1 more breath. And then come to stillness in your downward dog. Knees can be bent, heels aim toward the mat. Take a deep breath in, look forward, bend your knees a little bit more, and then tippy-toe to the front of your mat. Do a quick ragdoll here, keeping your feet hips width distance apart, all four corners pressing down evenly, and then use the weight of your head to pull the weight forward, clasping your elbows. And I want you to clasp your elbows in the weird way. So clasp them in the non-normal way, the way that makes it feel like you put your shoes on the wrong feet. Couple breaths here. When we actually do make changes like that, it actually creates new neural connections in the brain. It has really tremendous benefit from the perspective of neuroplasticity. So yoga just keeps on giving. One more breath. And then release the palms down to the floor and then halfway lift. So Ardha Uttanasana, bend or straight knees. Great place for blocks here as well to bring the earth to you. Forward fold, Uttanasana, keep those knees bent, and then roll up super slow. Super slow. Last one wins. And then all the way up to standing. Chin comes off the chest, palms above the head to the sky, hands to heart center, and down by your sides, mountain pose. Beautiful. Okay, let's get to it. Let's do some salutations. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Both palms to the ground, step both feet back into plank pose. Now knees can go down, shift forward, squeeze the elbows in. Inhale, cobra or up dog, back down to downward dog. One breath here. Exhale. Look forward between your palms on your next inhale. Hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Meet me in halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale all the way down, forward fold. Lift up, root to rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, palms to heart center and down by your side. One more. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward, both palms down, stepping back into plank, dropping the knees or not. Squeeze the elbows in. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Back into your down dog. One breath here. Exhale out. Next inhale, look forward, bend your knees, hop, step, or float to the front of your mat, halfway lift. Inhale, exhale, forward fold, root to rise, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Palms down, down by your side, mountain pose. Nice. The next thing we're going to move into is 3 sort of sun bee variations, and that's going to really prime our body for our peak pose. So let's get started. At any point during this practice, you are always given permission to take whatever road you need. Child's pose, drink of water, pause the video. Amazing. Inhale. Chair pose. In our chair pose, we want to make sure we can see our toes, our knees stay lined up, neutral spine, weights in the heels, long spine, long neck. One more breath. Exhale, let it go. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms flat, stepping back, plank pose. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. And then exhale, downward dog. One breath here. Exhale out. And then lift your right leg up hip height. Bring your knee to your nose. Place your right foot down between the palms, closer to the right side. Give your foot some space. And drop the back foot down to 45-degree angle. And then lift yourself up into your warrior one. First warrior one of the practice, always a little bit wonky. So for me, my hips have to go, hey, what's happening? So take a moment. Hips are aiming toward the front. Torso is toward the front. You can even physically move your body there as it tries to go with the left hip. Track that knee over the left ankle. Arms can be all the way up, shoulders low, or you can have your hands in heart center. One more breath here. Exhale down. Both palms to the floor. Right foot steps back. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Other side. Left leg up. Knee to nose. Leg between your palms, closer to the left side. Drop the right foot down. Ground through your foundation. Come up, warrior one. Now the other side gets in on the action. Confused about what to do, but maybe getting it. Bringing that torso toward the front. Aiming the hips toward the front. Squeezing those outer hips in. Tracking the knee over the left ankle. You might have to move it a little bit. Arms can be up or in prayer. One more breath. Exhale through heart center. Palms down to the floor. Stepping back. Inhale. Squeeze those elbows in. Urdhva. Exhale. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a breath. Exhale out. Inhale. Look forward between your palms. Hop, step, or flow to the front of your mat. Meet me in halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Nice long breaths here. Smooth them out. Use this as an opportunity to reset. One more breath. And exhale, arms up. And then back down through prayer. Hands by your side. Okay, let's keep going. Great job. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Back to plank. Remember, you can always put your knees down. Squeeze those elbows in and go through cobra. Exhale, back to downward dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Knee to nose. Place your right foot down closer to the right side. Pop that left foot down. Come up, warrior one. In this warrior one, take a breath. Exhale out. Now, bringing your hands to heart center for just a moment. I want you to twist to the outside, so twist to the right. So twist to the right, and then bring your arms back to the center, and then outstretch your arms to either side. Turn your thumbs down, so thumbs down like no leg down, and then clasp your hands behind your back. Open up the chest on an inhale, and exhale. Arms back through the side, back to your prayer. Twist back to the right, back to forward, arms up, and then down through heart center, palms to the floor, right foot meets left, back through your vinyasa, or you can go down to the floor for cobra. One more breath here in between sides. Exhale out. Inhale, left leg. Knee to nose. Place your left foot down between your palms. Drop that right foot down for your warrior one. Push through your foundation and lift up. Again, from here, hands come to heart center. Quick twist to the outside. So twisting to the left, only from the navel, back forward, arms outstretched. Now thumbs down, no like, clasping your palms behind your back. Inhale, open up the chest. So this is a back bend. Open the chest. And then exhale back out. Hands to prayer. Quick twist to the left. Keep your breath. Exhale, arms up, inhale. Exhale through heart center, back down. Left foot meets right. Squeeze those elbows in. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Beautiful. Deep breaths here. Let's do 3. Use this as your reset. Find your breath. Bring it down a notch. In between. One more. The more we control our breath, look forward between your palms, hop, step, or flow to the front of your mat, the more we control our mind. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. The more we control our mind, the more we control our lives. One more breath here in chair pose. And then lift up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands through heart center and down by your sides. Okay, we're going to move through 2 more iterations of that flow, but we're going to add in a humble warrior. So there'll be 2 exactly the same, just so that you can prepare. So let's begin. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Legs back through plank or knees down. Inhale, Urdhva or Cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale the right leg up. Knee to nose. Place the right foot down closer to the right palm. Drop that 45-degree angle for the left. Inhale up to warrior one. Now arms outstretched. And then thumbs down. Clasp your hands behind your back. Inhale, open the chest. And then bring your torso to the inside of your leg. Make that right shoulder have a date with the inside of that right knee. Squeeze that right knee toward the body. Squeezing those hips in and breathe. Arms are toward the sky. You can clasp your palms all the way together if that's in your practice. One more breath here. And then lift super strong by pushing through the foundation. Arms back up, warrior one. Exhale through heart center, palms to the floor. Right foot meets left, Vinyasa. And then back through your downward dog, quickly to the left side. Don't even think about it. Knee to nose. Place your left foot down. Keep breathing. Right foot goes down, 45-degree angle. Lift up, warrior one. Hands through heart center. Arms outstretched in a T. Thumbs down, no like. Clasping your hands behind your back. Inhale, open that chest. Exhale, down slow. Left shoulder to left inner knee. Lock them together. This posture has buoyancy. The strength of your legs is holding you up. You're not dumping that weight down. Your core and your legs are doing all this work. One more breath. On your inhale, come back up, squeezing everything tight. Lifting up through warrior one, palms through heart center, palms to the floor, left foot meets right. Vinyasa. Exhale. Beautiful. Look forward between your palms. Hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, all the way up. Hands through heart center and down by your sides. Same thing again, so you know what's coming. Let's do it. We got this. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Down to plank, knees down or not. Inhale, Urdhva or up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right leg up. Knee to nose. Right foot down, closer to the right side. Drop the left foot down through the foundation. Squeeze into the outer hips. Up. Warrior one. Exhale, palms to heart center. Arms all the way out. No like. Clasp the palms. Open the chest. Inhale. Exhale, slow. Right shoulder down. Inside of that right knee. Squeeze those outer hips in. Yes, it seems like they're in two different places in the universe right now, but mindfully send the breath there. Squeeze them in. Feel the difference. One more breath. And then slowly root through the foundation. Bring yourself back up with control. Inhale, arms up. Exhale through heart center. Palms to the floor. Left foot meets right. Inhale, squeeze those elbows in for your Urdhva. Exhale for Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left side, left leg up, hip height. Knee to nose. Place your foot down between your palms. Drop the right 45-degree angle. Squeeze everything in as you come up to your warrior one. Exhale, palms to the center. Inhale, T shape, thumbs down. Exhale, bring them behind you, clasped. Inhale, open that chest and then drop down for a couple breaths. Drop down. Where's that knee? Is it over the ankle? Squeezing those outer hips in even though they seem like they're in different universes. Squeeze them in. Feel the lift. Drawing the navel to the spine, creating length. One more breath. And then lifting yourself back up with control. Unclasp the arms all the way up. Warrior one. Hands through heart center, palms to the floor. Left foot meets right plank pose. Inhale. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale. Adho Mukha Svanasana. 3 breaths. 1. Time to reset. One more deep breath in. Look forward between your palms. Hop, step, or float to the front of your mat. Meet me in a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, root to rise, all the way up. Just kidding, chair pose. Chair pose. From our chair pose, we're gonna move into a twist. Hang out there with me. Look, I'll come over without even straightening my legs. So your feet can be hips width distance apart or closer if that's more comfortable for you, with knees, with your toes touching and your heels apart. I do hips width. Drop down an inch, and then we're gonna twist to the right. Left elbow seeks the outside of the right knee, twisting from the navel. Twist to the right. Once you're here, figure out what's going on with those knees. Great place for a block. If you have a block, squeezing that between your thighs creates perfect scenario for what is supposed to be working in chair pose here and here. One more breath. Come back to center. Other side. Take a deep breath in, and then right elbow seeks the outside of that left leg. Knees lined up, weights in the heels. Can you drop down another inch? Can you smooth out the breath? Can you try not to be mad at me for making you do this? One more breath. And then back to center. Inhale, and then let it all go, forward fold. Exhale. Stay in your forward fold for just a moment. I'm gonna make my way back to the top of the mat. From your forward fold, I want you to inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale through heart center and down by your sides. Stay with me. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down through heart center. Slowly fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. I want you to step your right foot back. We're moving into pyramid pose. So pyramid is going to be right before our peak pose. So your feet should be about 3/4 of the leg's distance, measuring that. And your right foot is pointed diagonally off the mat. So it's not straight forward and it's not totally parallel, it's diagonal. And what I want you to do here is I want you to think about squeezing those outer hips in, drawing the navel toward the spine, softness in the back, and then length. And see if you can feel that buoyancy in the body. So we're not overly falling to the left and we're not dumping too much in the right leg, but we've got even pressure in the feet and squeezing the hips in. One more breath. Now, if it's in your practice, you can certainly fold down from here. If you want to come up sort of a halfway lift, kind of coming into a deeper lift, you can clasp behind your back, your elbows, and then on breath in, fold halfway. And when you're ready, you're squeezing those outer hips and you can drop all the way down. For me, I'm going to drop my arms down. Helps me get a little more stability in my foundation and my legs. So wherever you are, length here, squeezing this in and breathing. How long can that neck get? One more breath. Folding forward. And on your next inhale, slight micro bend in the left knee, pressing down through both feet, lifting up halfway, hands to the hips, and then all the way up. Inhale, arms up, which is step forward with your right foot up to the front of your mat. Inhale, arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Step your left foot back. So, other side, right foot faces forward, left foot is at a diagonal, but give your hips enough space. So if you need to move out a little bit, that's okay. That's what you want to get a little more accessibility in this posture. This is also another great place for blocks. If you have your blocks or your books handy, bringing the earth to you. Now if you're already kind of down here, squeeze those outer hips in, lengthen through the spine, through the crown of the head, and then you can drop in at whatever level is comfortable for you. Or if you want to get into it a little more deeply, open that chest, clasp the weird elbow position, and then on your breath, inhale, come down halfway, and then on your exhale, folding over that leg. I like to keep a micro bend in the left leg. Wherever you are, breathing, squeezing in the whole time. You want to have a nice long spine here. This is actually called we call it pyramid, but really, and we think of it as a hamstring stretch, but really this is an extended side stretch. So really what we're intending to stretch our sides, and when you think about it like that, you really can realize how much length you can get by keeping this stationary position of hips and then lengthening out with the spine. One more breath here, however far down you are. And then slowly come back up, bringing your hands to your hips, micro bend in that right knee, pushing through all four corners of both feet all the way up. And then arms up, stepping forward with your left foot. Careful about your blocks or books. Inhale, arms up. Exhale through heart center. And just stay there for a moment. And let's take a grounding breath in our mountain pose. Keep breathing here, 2 more breaths. I'm going to move into our peak pose from here. Top of your mat, you have your hands together. Try to feel all 4 corners of the feet. One more breath, drop those shoulders. Exhale out. Now let's inhale upward, Bahastasana. Exhale down, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, palms to the floor, step both feet back. Move through a vinyasa, knees down or not. Squeeze those elbows in. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, back to downward dog. I'm going to lift your right foot into the air, hip height. Bring your knee to your nose, and then bring your right foot down between your palms. And then place your left foot down as in warrior one leg. So giving your hips some space, squeezing in those outer hips, pressing down through your foundation. Come up to your warrior one for just a moment. So from your warrior one, bring your hands down to heart center, and then slowly move your leg up as we just had in our pyramid pose. Now you might want to have your blocks handy for this on the right side of your mat. So everyone on an inhale, lift up out of the waist an inch or 2, and squeezing those outer hips in, fold forward on your exhale. And then I want you to take your left arm and extend it out, and try to reach that left arm to the left hand to the outside of your right foot. So your right pinky toe and your left pinky finger are next to each other. Keep everything else the same. Remember that twist, I'll turn around this way, that twist comes from the navel. So if you need more stability, you can move your legs out from each other, but you want to have as much of that twist happening from here. And then if you're there, maybe you put your hand on your hip, you focus on lengthening out through the crown of your head, or maybe you peel up and you open up that right arm. Wherever you are, find a smooth place for that breath here in our twisted triangle. And one more breath here. And exhale back down, carefully moving the body more neutral, and then placing both palms on the ground, moving that left foot back, stepping the right foot to meet the left, carefully, mindfully, moving through Vinyasa or just straight to downward dog. And move through the other side. I'm going to switch sides. Lift your left leg up, hip height. Bring it down between your hands, closer to the left side. Drop your right foot down into warrior one. Squeeze everything else in. Same alignment as warrior one to start. Coming up. Hands come to heart center. And then move your right foot up slightly into that pyramid, or maybe even a little bit greater. There's a lot more that we're trying to do with the body, so you might want to have a little bit more of a stable foundation. This is where the balancing comes in. So again, have your block close by. It's going to be on the left side of your body. And then when you're ready, we're going to come down. So lift first lift up out of the waist on your inhale. And then on your exhale, folding forward, squeezing in, squeezing in, squeezing in. And then take that right arm, extend it out, and then try to bring that right hand down to the outside of that left foot. This is staying exactly the same. In fact, a great place is to put your thumb here in the crease of your hip, and it will actually try to guide your hip back to make sure you only peel open the front side of your body. Maybe you're here, maybe you can place your hand on a block, maybe you have your hand on your hip, or maybe you're peeling open with that left side. Gaze can be forward, gaze can be down to the floor, whatever is comfortable for your neck. Drawing those shoulders away from the ears. Keep everything soft. Touch on the block should be light. Breath should be smooth. One more good breath here. And then unpeel back down to the earth, carefully removing the block, bringing your body more neutral position. Micro bend that knee if you need to kind of make sure it's not locked up. Bringing your left leg back to meet your right. One more vinyasa, everyone, or straight to down dog. Wherever you are, child's pose. 5 breaths. Child's pose reset. So we slowly begin to tell our body it's time to slow down. One more wonderful, beautiful deep breath here. And then when you're ready, slowly press down on the tops of your feet and your shins, bringing yourself back up into your tabletop. And however you want to get into half pigeon from here. So I'm going to lift back up into my downward dog, lift my right leg up hip height, bring my knee to the nose, and then bringing my right ankle down behind my left wrist, my right knee down behind my right wrist, and then check to see. Check to see if your left leg is coming out directly from the hip socket and not going all the way over to the side. A lot of times we have to check. We cannot tell exactly where our bodies are in space. We have to learn that. As you sink down, you can use a blanket or even a block under your right hip if your hip's not all the way on the ground. Wherever you are, make sure that you're lengthening up. And then if it's in your practice, folding forward and dropping in, maybe using a block, softening the shoulders, and really just telling the body, thank you. As we move through these challenging postures, and I think about how for so long I watched everyone else in class do them and thought I had to do them exactly like that. But yoga is an individual practice, and you are working with your body to find your best practice. Know that that changes every day, sometimes on the right and left sides. To just be honest and gentle with yourself. Because all of those iterations, all of those are you. One more deep breath here in our pigeon pose. And to bring yourself back up, carefully remove blocks or props if you use them, and bring your hands back toward your body. Lifting up a little bit more, one more time, deep breath. And as you exhale, you can choose to sit on your right hip and bring your left leg around, or coming back through downward dog by kicking up the left toes and bringing the right leg back, maybe bending that hip, opening up to the right side, and coming back down to your down dog. And we move to the other side. Lift your left leg up, bring your knee to your nose, and then gently placing your left knee behind your left wrist and your left ankle behind your right wrist. And again, checking to see if that right leg is going out behind you directly from the hip socket, and bringing your prop of choice into the story, whether that's your block for under your hips, maybe a blanket. And maybe this pose isn't for you at all. Maybe you have abandoned the attempt because you decided it just wasn't feeling right. You can get a very similar benefit You can get a very similar benefit by doing figure 4 on the back. So laying on your back, bringing one knee into the chest and crossing the other knee over as well. And so many options in yoga. Breathing in before we curl down and fold over our left leg. There is no one right way to do a yoga posture. And dropping in here and really allowing yourself to really soak in the benefits of this hip stretch. And one more breath here. Slowly move your props out of the way. Carefully bring your hands back toward the body, placing your hands on your left leg and stretching up. One more time. Carefully bring your left leg back into a downward dog, maybe bending that knee, opening the hip, or maybe you sat on the hip and swung the leg around. Wherever you are, keep breathing, taking in these benefits. And we're going to move into a seated position and do a little bit of a twist. So placing your left leg out in front of you, bring your right knee into the body, slight engagement in the left leg, toes to the sky. Now cross your right leg over above your knee if your foot can be completely flat. If your foot is really angled and that's a little bit difficult, troublesome, just keep that straight in front of you where it was, flat on the ground. Wherever you are, assess where your sits bones are. And I say this all the time, and it's such an interesting exercise because they just never really were where I thought they were, but really a crucial foundational point in some postures here. So locate your sits bones, that's where you're centered, and then sort of lifting up from there. So lift your left arm up to the sky, inhale, and then as you exhale, wrap your left hand around your right knee, twisting to the right at the navel, keeping your sits bones locked where they are. Right hand goes diagonally back, gaze aims toward the right shoulder, breathe. Breathing here, smoothing out the breath, smoothing out the thoughts. And slowly untwisting your body back to center, carefully and mindfully moving your leg back uncrossed, placing your right leg down next to your left. Now give your legs a little squeeze, maybe even your feet too. I always like to do this in between. And then we're going to move to the other side. So slight engagement in the right leg, right toes point toward the sky. Bring your left leg into the body, foot flat on the earth. Use that to sort of pull yourself up, and then really use that to locate your sits bones. You can definitely feel where they are when you have that lifted sensation. From here, cross your left leg over if your foot is flat on the floor. If not, keep that foot uncrossed and flat in front of you. From here, lift your right arm up, inhale. On your exhale, hug your arm around your left leg, twisting to the left, keeping your sits bones grounded, left arms diagonally back, and your gaze and chin are toward the back corner of your mat. If you need to back off of this posture slightly, as I do right now, you can just kind of unwrap your arm a little bit. You can always just physically bring your whole torso back. You can always also uncross your leg and start there as well. Additional postures for more twists will be bringing your right arm on the inside of your thigh and then using that as an internal lever to press your outer upper arm against your thigh to get a little more twist. You always have options. One more breath here. And coming back through the center, carefully, mindfully untwist, unwrap your leg, placing your left foot back down again. Release any tension in the legs. Give them a little bit of love, even up to the hip creases. Thank you, legs, for all you do. And we'll move into a forward fold Paschimottanasana. So again, sits bones. Common theme I'll always indicate, locate them. They're very helpful in working through centering some of our seated postures. Slight engagement in the legs, toes toward the ceiling. Inhale, arms up, lifting up through the waist, and then on your exhale, folding forward, Paschimottanasana. You can bend your knees here or keep them straight, clasping your toes with your yogi toe grip. You can also have your hands flat on the floor and just get to where you get to. I mean, you can't get anywhere else. You have to be where you are. You know, and just notice where you are. Continue to use your breath to aim for that next inch forward. But know that you're in the right place. You're using your breath, creating length. And one more breath here. And on your next inhale, as mindfully as you went down, creating length again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale through heart center. And palms down by your side. We're going to move into a little bit of a restorative posture. Yay. So if you have your block or even just a couple of pillows would be great for this. And move into Baddha Konasana. So putting the soles of your feet together, and I would say not too close to the body, so not too far. You want to make a nice kind of triangle. I'm going to move mine in like, I don't know, halfway, 3/4 of the way. And then I want you to take a moment to peel your feet open like a book and feel how that opens up the chest. So you can't really do one without the other. Opening up the chest, creating length in the spine, and we're going to lift up out of the waist and fold forward. But just for a breath, because then I want you to bring all your fabulous props into the story and release the neck. So I'm going to put my block on this setting and I really release down, taking the weight off my neck. So kind of where my hair and my forehead meet, that's what I'm going to place on the block. I'm going to really just drop in here for like 5 breaths. I want this to be really comfortable. This is a restorative posture where you take the pressure off the body. So if you need to move your body to make that more comfortable, you can place your blocks on your feet, use your hands, pillows, whatever's comfortable. Take one more deep breath here. And slowly remove your props. And bring yourself back up to your seated posture. And we'll move on to our backs. We'll do a small supine twist here. We'll move into our final posture. So starting on your back with both legs out long, and then bring your right knee into the chest. And then you may need to move your hips over slightly, but crossing that right leg over the body. Again, a great place for blocks. Place your block underneath your foot, underneath your knee. And you want to try to have this cross stretching, so aim to have your right shoulder down on the ground, maybe your arms outstretched with the palm up, maybe your other hand is here on your torso, or maybe it's in another position, maybe holding the knee down. I typically use it to bring the knee down carefully, not too much strain, and really to intensify the cross stretch. One more breath here. And slowly use your hand to bring your knee back to the center of your body, and then stretching in, and then stretching that right leg out. This is a great time for you to explore what feels good in your body. So as we move through this posture, bring your left knee into the chest, and you say, hey, that's not feeling great for me, I want to do something else. Please take advantage. These last few minutes, as all of our practice is for you, but your body really tells you at this time what it needs. So crossing that left leg over the body, supine twist on the other side again. Use your block, something to elevate the earth to your knee, and then maybe you use your right hand to hold your knee there while you stretch your left shoulder, aiming toward the floor, and twisting through the spine. And your gaze can stay up, you can look to the left. You don't want to have any additional strain in your neck. One more deep breath. And then slowly unpeel, coming back into the center, bringing the knees both into the chest, and then taking that one final super deep breath of gratitude, and then exhaling everything out and down, Shavasana. In our Shavasana, with our eyes closed, palms up, the body body sinks into the floor. And we soak in all the benefits of our practice. You are twisting and moving and realigning our energy, coming in tune with ourself. And I encourage you to always look to be your most authentic self, even when it scares you. Even when there are no rules for what that should look like. Even when it doesn't get the best reception. That is the only way that you can really be you. Continue breathing here, and I will let you know when it's time to come back. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. And begin to invite some light movement into the body. And bring the knees into the chest. And slowly move over onto your left side, keeping your eyes closed if you can. Take a full breath here. Carefully, gently push yourself up to a seated posture. And we will begin to close our practice together. Take this moment to thank yourself for honoring what you needed today so that you can fill up your cup and give back to those that you love. It was truly an honor to lead you this evening. I hope you enjoyed your practice. And take a deep breath together. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Raise your thumb knuckles to your third eye and inhale. We exhale and bow, namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me. I can't wait to see you again, and if you enjoyed your practice this evening, please consider sharing, liking, and subscribing. See you soon. Thanks.